Do you ever wonder what lies beyond the veil of death? Is there more to our existence than our physical lives? These questions, timeless as they are intriguing, have tugged at the heartstrings of humanity since time immemorial. Our scene begins with the concept of the afterlife, a realm that stands as the great unknown, a mystery that has captivated our collective consciousness for centuries. It's a topic that transcends culture, religion, and time, an enigma that has spurred countless debates, inspired countless stories, and sparked countless imaginations. Across the globe, in every corner, every culture, every civilization, there exists a myriad of beliefs about what happens when we shuffle off this mortal coil. Some cultures speak of reincarnation, a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Others talk of heavens and hells, of paradises and punishments. Some believe in ancestral spirits, in ghosts, in the continuation of consciousness beyond the physical plane. Religions, too, offer their own interpretations of the afterlife. From the Christian concept of heaven and hell to the Hindu belief in the cycle of samsara, and from the Islamic idea of Jannah and Jahannam to the Buddhist understanding of nirvana, each provides a unique perspective on what lies beyond. However, it's not just the realm of the spiritual that offers insight into the afterlife. The scientific community, the champions of reason and rationality, have also dipped their toes into the waters of the great unknown. They've put forth theories, ideas grounded in the laws of physics, the understanding of consciousness, and the principles of energy. From quantum mechanics to neuroscience, from thermodynamics to string theory, science has dared to explore this profound question with the tools of logic and empiricism. The results have been nothing short of fascinating, as we'll see in the rest of this video. So, where does that leave us? Well, with a sense of curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, and a whole lot of theories to explore. Join me as we delve into the fascinating scientific theories about the afterlife. Have you ever heard about quantum mechanics? It's a field of physics that deals with the smallest particles in the universe. Now, you might wonder what this has to do with the afterlife. Well, sit tight because things are about to get interesting. Quantum mechanics is the science of the very small. It's a weird world where particles can be in two places at once or pop in and out of existence. It's a universe where reality itself seems to be made of probabilities rather than fixed certainties. Now let's delve into the concept of quantum immortality. This theory, while speculative and controversial, is a fascinating interpretation of quantum mechanics. It suggests that our consciousness, or what makes us us, could potentially continue to exist in parallel universes after death. Let's break it down a bit. Quantum mechanics proposes that for every possible outcome of a decision, there's a branching universe where each outcome occurs. This is known as the many worlds interpretation. Now, apply this to life and death. In one universe, you might die from an accident, but in another parallel universe, you narrowly escape and life goes on. According to quantum immortality, your consciousness continues in the universe where you survive. So even though you die in one universe, you still exist in another. In essence, you could be immortal, living on in an infinite number of parallel universes. Of course, this is all theoretical. Quantum mechanics is still a young field, and we've barely scratched the surface of understanding it. And the idea of quantum immortality, while it captures our imagination, is far from being proven. But isn't it fascinating to think that death might not be the final act, but merely a change of scene? That we might continue existing not in a traditional heaven or hell, but in an infinite multiverse of possibilities. So in a sense, death might not be the end, but merely a transition to another universe. Let's now explore the consciousness theory, a theory that suggests consciousness might exist outside the physical body. This intriguing idea posits that our consciousness, or our sense of self, is not confined to our physical forms. Instead, it might be something more, something capable of existing independently. Now you may be wondering, how does this relate to the afterlife? Well, if our consciousness can exist outside our bodies, it's conceivable that it could continue to exist even after our bodies cease to function. This would mean that some part of us, our consciousness, could in essence survive death. Sounds fascinating, doesn't it? But what possible evidence could there be for such a theory? This is where near-death experiences, or NDEs, and out-of-body experiences, or OBEs, come into play. These phenomena, often reported by individuals who have come close to death or have been clinically dead for a brief period, frequently involve experiences that seem to suggest a form of consciousness independent of the body. For instance, individuals who have had NDEs often report floating above their bodies, observing their surroundings from a different perspective. Similarly, those who have experienced OBEs describe a sensation of their consciousness or spirit leaving their body. While these experiences are subjective and difficult to study scientifically, they do provide intriguing anecdotal evidence that supports the consciousness theory. It's also worth noting that many cultures and religions around the world have beliefs that align with this theory, further adding to its intrigue. Of course, it's important to remember that this is just a theory. As with all theories about the afterlife, it's not something we can definitively prove or disprove. But it does provide a fascinating perspective on the nature of consciousness and the mystery of what might happen when we shuffle off this mortal coil. Could it be that our consciousness continues to exist even after our physical bodies cease to function? The consciousness theory certainly suggests so. And while we may not have all the answers, it's always interesting to ponder the possibilities. Another intriguing theory is the energy conservation theory, which is based on one of the fundamental laws of physics. This law, the law of conservation of energy, states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but only changed from one form to another. This concept is elementary in our understanding of the physical universe. But what if we apply it to the less tangible aspect of our existence, our consciousness? Imagine, if you will, our consciousness as a form of energy. It's not so far-fetched when you consider that our thoughts, emotions, sensations all stem from complex electrical and chemical interactions within our brain. These interactions are, in essence, energy. So what happens to this energy when we pass away? The energy conservation theory of the afterlife proposes a fascinating idea. As per the law of conservation of energy, the energy of our consciousness cannot simply vanish. It must continue to exist in some form or another. But what form might that be? Could it be a ghostly spectral energy roaming the earth? Or perhaps it transforms into a different kind of energy altogether, one that we can't perceive with our current scientific understanding. The truth is, we don't know. Science has yet to fully comprehend the nature of consciousness, let alone what happens to it after death. Yet, the energy conservation theory offers a tantalizing possibility. It suggests that death may not be the end, but rather a transformation, a shift from one state of energy to another. However, it's important to note that this theory is just that, a theory. It's a concept born from the intersection of physics and philosophy, a thought experiment that pushes the boundaries of our understanding. It's not proven, nor is it universally accepted, but it does provide a unique perspective on the question of the afterlife. While we can't say for certain, the energy conservation theory gives us a scientific way to imagine the possibility of life after death. After all, the universe is full of mysteries, and who's to say that the journey of our consciousness isn't one of them? We've explored a few scientific theories about the afterlife, each offering a unique perspective on what lies beyond death. Let's take a moment to reflect on the insights we've gathered. Firstly, the quantum theory. This intriguing approach proposes that our consciousness might not perish with our physical bodies, but instead could continue in a parallel universe. It's a concept that stretches the boundaries of our understanding, suggesting a reality far greater and more complex than our own. It implies that death might not be an end, but a transition into a different existence. Next, we delved into the consciousness theory, a perspective that sees consciousness as a fundamental part of the universe, not merely a product of the brain. This theory suggests that our consciousness could persist even after our bodies cease to function, continuing its journey in a form we might not fully comprehend. It offers a perspective where death is not a termination, but a transformation. Then we explored the energy conservation theory, a theory rooted in the fundamental principle of physics that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only transformed. If we consider our consciousness as a form of energy, then it implies that our essence, our being, doesn't simply vanish at death, but transforms into another state or form. These theories, each unique yet interconnected, present us with a spectrum of possibilities for what lies beyond the veil of death. They challenge our perceptions, question our understanding, and push us to think beyond the confines of our mortal existence. While the question of what happens after death remains a mystery, these theories provide food for thought. They invite us to ponder, to question, to explore the unknown. And perhaps in the end, the journey of discovery, of understanding, of seeking answers to the greatest unknown is just as important as the destination.